tuning into another episode of Designing Rachel Marie. I am yours truly, if you don't already know, Rachel Marie. So today, this video is actually dedicated to a subscriber that actually, she typed me out a long, couple paragraphs a couple paragraphs of questions. So instead of just answering her question, I figured that it would probably be a good thing to just make a video on it, just in case anybody else ended up having a question after her. So I kind of uploaded, I uploaded all the questions on my other device here. So I'm just going to read out her questions and then answer them like that. And then if you guys have questions as well, I don't mind doing the same thing for you. Just attach your questions in the comment section below. I read every last one of your comments. If I don't have the time to respond, please don't be mad at me, because I am only one person, but I personally read and try to respond to majority of you guys. And so keep all that content coming. I enjoy it. It actually gives me ideas on content and just subjects to really kind of touch on to help you guys. So yeah, we'll go from there. And then also, before we get started, I just want to ask you, if you have not already done so, please make sure to subscribe. Just hit that little subscribe button. It doesn't hurt you. And then also hit the little bell notification. That way you are notified whenever I upload a video. This channel is doing really good, and I just like to continue to see it grow. Share. If you have a friend that is interested in plastic surgery of any form, share. Even if they're interested in weight loss surgery, because I'm going to start going into a little more of the weight loss surgery side of things soon. So far, I've just really kind of been narrow just to the plastic surgery, because that was the most recent thing that I was going through. But now I want to kind of go back and touch bases on the weight loss surgery and all of that. So again, leave your questions. Your questions help me decide what's valuable content to you guys. So for everybody that's watching, if you have something that you want me to talk about or something that you need me to discuss, put it in the comment section. I will get to it. Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right on into these questions. All right, so it says, and I'm just going to read out because it's two different ones. So I'm going to read it out. It says, "Hi, Rachel. So I just finished watching almost all your videos. I've been wanting to go to Duran for about 3 years now, and I'm hoping and planning to go sometime in 2020. All right, so she says she's nervous about surgery, and she feels that she needs to have it done in order for her to live her best life. I am 100% with you. I felt the same way. So let's see here. I got some questions for you. Hopefully you can answer. So the first question, have you ever had a C-section? Yes, I had 3 C-sections. Every last one of my children are C-sections. And then it says, if so, how does it compare? So, okay, so she says she has 3. I had 3 as well. It is very similar in the cut and how you're hunched over and things like that. But the internal feeling is absolutely nothing like a C-section. The tummy tuck, in my opinion, was worse than a C-section. The C-section, yes, you just had to deal with the incision, which you'll deal with the same incision. But on top of that, you have the muscle repair. And that muscle repair is what makes everything so tight and it's hard to breathe. So C-section is very close, but it's not quite the same. The tummy tuck is worse than the C-section. So that answers that question. Okay, so the next question. I know you said you spent a little over $10K to get everything you needed while you were in the DR. Do you think that a total savings of $15K would be sufficient? Absolutely. I think $15K is very sufficient. I think $15K would cover your post-op massages once you get back to the States as well. Trying to take some of the tips that I've shared in some of my other videos to kind of cut a couple corners and save some money where I didn't. Because again, my process can help you figure out where to improve, so that way you can make your experience better. But $15K, I think, is a very comfortable amount for any type of complication or anything like that. So yes, $15K is great. Next question. This will be question number 3. The most important question for her, to my knowledge, has Dr. Duran ever had any deaths? This is my biggest fear. I know you said she turned down a patient that went with another doctor and unfortunately died on the table. So yes, Duran has had deaths. I heard about these deaths in one of the Dominican surgery groups that I was in. It is very hard to find information on her deaths. To be honest, I think every surgeon has had a death. I mean, it may be very rare or whatever, but I mean, those type of things, again, like when I talk about deaths, you've got to make sure that you're doing your part. Like the surgeon is doing their job. A lot of the deaths that happen on surgeons are not like negligence to the surgeon. It's more so the patient in a condition or something that the patient didn't share. So again, what I tell everybody is get yourself completely checked out before you head out to the DR. Do it multiple times. I was in my PCP's office like every other month when I was counting down my time to surgery, and I was getting my labs drawn. I was checking to make sure every piece of me was healthy and up to par before I even went over there. So again, you have to do your part and make sure that you are on point with your health. Take all your vitamins you're supposed to do, drink your water, all the stuff that you're supposed to be doing, make sure you do it. She's going to do her part. When you get over there, you just have to do yours. And also, don't leave out any information. If you've had previous conditions or whatever that they ask you about, make sure you tell them everything. Even if that means you don't get your surgery, it's still safer than you telling them not telling them and then something happening. So yes, to answer your question, yes, Duran has had deaths. I don't know the exact number, but I do know that she has had deaths, and it is very, very hard to find online, because when I was researching her, like I had hell trying to just Google and find them. I ended up getting the information from somebody in one of the Dominican doll groups. Okay, so the next question, which will be number 4. Did you take any vitamins prior to surgery? Did you take any vitamins prior to going to make sure you are at your best health? And if so, how long did you take them and which ones were they? So, I had a list of vitamins that I was taking before surgery. I actually did a video on every vitamin that I was taking. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know it's a video out there, and I'll put it in the comment section below, the link to that video. But there's a video that I did telling you all the vitamins that I was taking and everything. I started taking all of my vitamins like 6 months before my surgery. Like I stopped taking my birth control. I started doing everything so that I could make sure that my health, was really where it needed to be. And it wasn't like I just all of a sudden started taking this stuff and started trying to be healthy. No, I was preparing for surgery way before my surgery date. Okay, so then the next one, did you get a blood transfusion? I heard you say yes and no. In another video, I might have heard it wrong though. Also, what type of blood are you? I have a kind of rare blood type, A negative. Okay, so yes, I ended up getting a blood transfusion. So remember, I had 2 different surgeries. So that's probably where you heard me say yes and you heard me say no. So after my first surgery, no, I did not need a blood transfusion. I was perfectly fine, but I developed necrosis. And when I developed the necrosis, I had to go back into surgery a week from my initial surgery date. So at that point, when I had my second surgery, I needed a blood transfusion immediately after that surgery. She ended up giving me 1 bag of blood. I did not need 2. Normally, when you pay for your blood, you're paying for 2 bags of blood. So you'll pay for that in advance when you pay for your surgery. And it's 2 bags of blood, and like I said, I needed 1, not 2. My blood type, I don't know off the top of my head, I'm sorry. But if you are concerned about your rare type of blood, what I would do is when you send out for your quote, I would let them know that in advance, so that way they would have the type of time to prepare if your blood type was not available. So I would just, if you're going through a coordinator or if you're going directly through Duran's office, Castro, who is Duran's assistant, she is very responsive into helping. And I know now their office is getting better to where you don't have to actually go through a coordinator. You can go directly through them. So I would definitely send them an email and let them know about your blood type in advance. So again, it varies on if you're going to need a blood transfusion. I did not need it after my first round. But when I had to go back into surgeries, 2 surgeries within a week, yes, I needed that blood then. So that's where you heard no and yes. So you weren't tripping. Okay, so number 5. Oh, that was 5. Sorry. So number 6. Sorry. If you could go back and consider another doctor before your procedure, would you? Honestly, no. I am very happy with who I chose for my first round. I don't have any regrets. Yeah, I think Duran gave me a phenomenal foundation what I came to her with. I am happy with my results. Yeah, I wouldn't change her for the world. Like, honestly, the way she handled my procedure, the way she handled my complication, like, I have nothing bad to say about Duran whatsoever. I know there's a lot of girls that, say, oh, she's not worth the hype. It's a hype. Like, honestly, Duran was perfect. I mean, she was perfect to me. Yes, everybody over there in the DR, like, has a short fuse, and they don't really, like, they're not as friendly as we are. Some people, like, in my opinion, some people pick certain issues that really just don't have to be picked. It's just different people deal with different situations differently. But Duran did her job. Like I said, I don't have any complaints on anything. She was honest with me. She did tell me, like, I had a lot of fat around my back and so forth. So, not to expect to just be perfect. And I was not completely perfect, but I am extremely happy with the foundation she gave me. So, yeah, if that answers that. Okay, so then that was number 6. Number 7. I'm sorry, I was rereading. I'm taking my husband with me. Do they allow him at the recovery house? That is case by case. So you have to okay that with your recovery house prior. Some recovery houses do allow males and they have companion suites. And then some recovery houses don't. So you just have to ask your recovery house. It just varies. So the next question, which will be 8. How do I get into the surgery group chat? Well, I just started one, and I think you're already in it, so I don't have to answer that one. And for anybody else that is watching, I just started a surgery group chat. It is, just now getting started. Everybody's still kind of shy. We're still kind of working on getting the conversation going, but I invite you all to join, and we are on Facebook, and it is Designer Dolls, and Dolls is plural, so Designer Dolls on Facebook, and join our group. And I think it'll be really really good once I get everybody in it and we really start having those conversations that I want to have. Right now, it's almost like when you put a whole bunch of women in one room and nobody knows nobody, and so, like, you got one person like myself that's talking and everybody's talking to me but not talking to each other. That's kind of where we're at right now, but it's still fresh, so I am very optimistic that eventually Designer Dolls will be a poppin' surgery chat. So next question. 9. You said they gave you an epidural. Was this the one they inject to your back? Yes, ma'am. It was in my back. They leaned me over, put it in my back. That's what they did. I didn't have any blue pill. They just went straight for the epidural. All right, next. When you woke up during surgery, did you panic? I didn't. When I woke up during surgery, I was very loopy. I heard Duran. She actually was like, hey, Rachel, baby, I'm right here. And she talked to me. And, like, literally, I was up and then I dozed right back out. So it's like you're very, very, like, high. So it's like, I heard it. I felt pressure. Because, just like when you're getting a C-section, if you're up, you feel pressure, but you don't feel pain. I felt pressure. And then I dozed right back off, but I did not panic. And whoever said, like, people have said, like, they woke up and Duran wasn't there. When I woke up, Duran was right there. And the second surgery that I had, she kept me up. And I never went to sleep, and she was right there. Duran did my surgery. Yes, she had an assistant, but Duran did my surgery. So a lot of people say, oh, Duran doesn't do her own surgeries. Yes, she does. Like literally on my second surgery, I was up. I watched her do it. I was not asleep. I was not knocked out. And she did knock me out because she didn't want me to have to stay overnight in the hospital. So she left me awake, so then that way I could actually be discharged. Okay, next question. What number was I at? 9, that was the epidural. So 10, did I wake up? Okay, 11. Do you think they will allow my husband to be present during the surgery? I don't want to be alone. No, they're not going to allow your husband to be in the surgery room. He can wait outside. He can hold your hand outside and wait and all that, but he cannot be in the surgery room. 12. Where did you fly from and how long was your flight? So when I flew to the DR, I live in Texas, but when I flew to the DR, I flew from Kansas City because I am from Kansas City, and I had to take my kids to Kansas City for the summer, so they were staying with their dads, and so I flew out from Kansas City. And because I didn't have anybody in Texas that would actually be able to help me when I got back, I flew back to Kansas City and stayed in Kansas City for about I say like 2 to 3 weeks. I stayed up there where my sister helped me kind of get back on my feet. I thought I was going to need way more help than I did, and I was actually pretty okay to where I probably could have went home. But not knowing what the experience was going to do to me, I think that was the most appropriate method. And again, don't base my recovery for yours, because you might need more help than I needed, and vice versa. You may not. I just don't want anybody to think like, oh, well, Rachel said she was good and she was fine. But yeah, that's me. So yes, I flew from Kansas City to the DR. So there was a layover. So from Kansas City, we went from Kansas City to Atlanta. That was about an hour and a half, hour and 45-minute flight. And then from Atlanta to the Dominican Republic. So total, I think my flight was about 5 hours. Yeah, I think it was about 5 hours with both flights. Okay, so then that was her first set of questions. So now let's go into the second set. So she says, okay, I hope you're ready. Aside from the other 12 questions, 1, how much time did you book your surgery in advance? So, and I'm not going to read all her specifics out, but she was saying about her BMI, wanting to lower it. So yes, definitely I recommend, if you do have a goal of trying to get to a certain BMI before your surgery, do that. Don't cut corners and try to rush it. Get to your goal weight and then have your surgery, because it is going to help you achieve the results that you really want to achieve. Like, the surgery is going to put the icing on the cake for you. And I kind of feel like if I probably would have worked a little bit harder, maybe and lost like 10 pounds before surgery or something, I probably would have not needed had as much fat in my back, and my results would have been better. But anyway, that's why I'm telling you, yes, get to your goal weight. You're going to be much happier with your results. So how long did I actually book it in advance? So here goes the crazy part. I had my surgery booked well over a year in advance. Okay. So I booked my surgery initially. It was December. What year was this? 19. So my surgery was initially booked December of 2018 with Dr. Mejia. I ended up getting a job promotion and moving from Kansas City to Texas. So I moved from Kansas City to Texas August of 2018. So when I moved, the money that I was saving for my surgery, I ended up having to use to relocate. So I ended up then taking my surgery date and pushing it out to May, I think it was like May 30th or whatever of 2019. Okay. So as you can see, I knew well over a year in advance. Okay. So I pushed my surgery out because at that point I was like, okay, I'm going to get moved. I'm going to get comfortable in my position. I'm going to stack my coins, and I'm getting my surgery next summer. Like, it ain't nothing stopping me. And that's exactly what I did. So let me say that real quick before I move forward. When you set a goal and you literally speak that stuff into existence, like I'm telling y'all, we manifest what we want. Like, no bullshitting. When I said that I was getting that surgery, I didn't have any money prepared for that surgery. But I knew that the money I had spent, I was gonna get it back, and that surgery was happening because it was what I wanted. Like, I manifested all of this. Like, I locked onto it, and nothing else mattered. Like, outside of course, doing the things that I know I have to do, like taking care of my kids, making sure my household is afloat, paying my bills. I never, improvised any of those things in order to get plastic surgery. I did everything that I was supposed to do. I did not pay anything to do surgery. But like all of my extra social life and all of that stuff, I sacrificed that stuff. So anyway, yes, I knew well in advance. Over a year. So you can actually, if you get a quote through a doctor, you can book your date. I think Duran will let you book, like, now that it's about to be next year, she's letting you book through 2020. But like, I think before you could just book in the same calendar year. But every doctor is different. So depending on who you going with, it just varies. Okay. So then the next thing. On a scale of 1 to 10, how clean would you say the operating room and the facilities were? Between a 1 and 10. So listen, before I say this, I want y'all to know I am a neat freak, right? I am weird like that. I really am. So my rating might be lower than what you would rate something. I'm gonna say a 5. I'm gonna be real with y'all. U.S. standards and Dominican Republic standards are two different things. Our terms of clean, opposed to their terms of clean, are just not the same. You'll see when you go over there. Now, did I feel like it was just like blood on the floor and just like trifling? No. But it just didn't look like any of our facilities. So if you're having United States expectations, please don't. The rooms will look nothing like it. The accommodations that you get, the customer service, none of that. You are in a foreign country. They handle things completely different than we do. Prepare yourself in advance not to be treated up to United States standards. It's not going to happen. You're in the Dominican Republic. It's not going to be like at home. Their equipment is not going to be as up to date as ours is. Like, all of that stuff, you have to have an open mind going over there. Don't go over there expecting, don't go over there expecting the treatment that we get over here. It's just not going to happen. I told you first, so you know. Yes, they're going to take care of you. You're going to be okay, but it's not going to be to the par that we're used to. So that was also a thing that I was struggling with over there. If you've watched any of my videos while I was over there, that's what I was kind of struggling with. The customer service, the way they handle stuff. Like, that was bothering me while I was over there because I was used to how things were handled over here. So it was frustrating. It was irritating. And that was one of the things that caused me to be a little on edge over there, which is one of the main things that I've actually shared with all of my subscribers so that you guys can be prepared in advance and you don't have the same type of issues. At least if you can go into it with an open mind, expecting less, then you'll be okay, because you won't go over there thinking like, oh, okay, I'm having a surgery like at home. No, it's nothing like that. But you will be okay. They will make sure you're okay. All right, next one. Was the surgery done in a hospital or a clinic? It was, they call it a clinic, but I think it's like their hospitals. They're very small. They got little offices and surgery, little surgery centers. But other patients are there in the hospital as well. But most of the, because I didn't have surgery at Cipla. I had surgery at ICE, which is basically, when I went over there, that's when Cipla got closed down because Cabral had a death. So that's how I ended up having surgery at ICE, which is outside of the normal for where Duran performs our surgery. Cipla is, just basically a surgery clinic. Like, that's all they do in there is plastic surgery. So yeah, that gives you that. Okay, number 4 on this one. It says, one of my main reasons I need this surgery is because my confidence is very low. Okay. I'm not going to read this out loud. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, well, maybe I will. Okay, maybe I will read it out loud, and I hope this is not like private information or whatever. But she said one of her main reasons for needing surgery is because her confidence is very low. After having 3 kids, everything just kind of hangs, and it really just messes with her sex life. Even though my husband is constantly adoring and complimenting me, I don't feel sexy at all, and I just want that back. Plus, I want to wear all the cute clothes. You don't have to answer this, but how has surgery changed things for you? Good question, and yes, I will answer it for you. It is great. In the most censored way that I can put it. I will tell you, you will get your confidence back. You will wear some stuff you would have never worn before. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I had that same issue because I had sagging stomach skin. So like my stomach skin used to kind of like flap and make weird noises and stuff. Yeah, no, none of that anymore. It's great actually. Sometimes I think I turn myself on more than anything else. I know that sounds bad, but you know, you are going to love the mirror. You're going to love the mirror. You're going to love that. You're going to love dressing up for that. So yes, it's good you have a husband that you can do all of that for. Yeah, I've gotten me like a Victoria's Secret gift card. And like I said, not a gift card, a credit card. Sorry. I got me a Victoria's Secret credit card now. And like literally, I wear some stuff I would have never imagined that I would wear. Like some stuff. But anyway, you're gonna love it. Don't worry, it's gonna be nice. And you're gonna get all of that back. All of it. You're gonna get it back. Maybe not all of it, because then you're gonna find something else. That's where I'm at. But for the most part, you're gonna feel very, very confident. And you're gonna be ready to take your clothes off. All right, so the next thing, 5. After researching, I'm leaning towards getting a nice hotel while I am there with a private nurse. Would you recommend that? Is it safe, or should I stick with a recovery house? So, you can do that. I know somebody who did that. Honestly, me personally, I feel like it's a personal decision based off of how private you are and so forth. For myself, I would go with a recovery house because I feel like I would end up spending way too much money doing a private, like a private hotel, because then you have to pay for your food. You have to have somebody coming and preparing the food. And if you just hiring an overnight nurse, sometimes, I don't know if they include cooking or if they're just caring for you. With a recovery house, all of that stuff is going to be included, and some of your supplies based off of the recovery house that you go through. So like when I'm planning my round 2, and I'll do another video on that, but I'm planning my round 2 right now, and I'm looking into recovery houses that offer majority of my supplies, because that's one thing that I didn't know the first time I went around. I ended up going to a recovery house that didn't offer any supplies, so I spent more money on stuff like that and just on the recovery house period than what I should have. So next time around, I'm finding a recovery house, 1, that's lower in cost, 2, that's going to provide some of those products for me. So 3, I don't have to carry a big old luggage, and they have most of the stuff there, and I don't have to buy as much. So I would say recovery house, because that's just what I'm favoring. But like I said, if it's you and your husband and you just want that private whatever, okay, I say, go ahead and go with it, because your husband's coming with you. So it might be cheaper to go with an Airbnb, because at the recovery house, you would have to pay for 2 people instead of just you. But again, I think, unless you just are really, really scared, I was able to go over there and do everything on my own without anybody. So like, unless you just scared and your husband just wants to come with you, I say you don't even need to have your husband with you. Like you can have him come maybe for like a few days, but I wouldn't make him stay the duration of your recovery you know, like maybe I'd have them come like the day of your surgery or the day before your surgery and stay like 2 days after your surgery or something. But I mean, that's just me, because I feel like you would save more money that way, and you're not gonna need them the whole way, especially if you do go with a recovery house. There's gonna be other girls in the recovery house that you're gonna be able to, you know, talk to, keep you company, and then the staff at the recovery house, you know, are gonna take care of you, so you'll be okay. Okay, sorry, my last clip, I don't know what happened. So basically she asked, how old am I? She said she's guessing between 25 and 28. Haha. Thank you for the compliment. I wish, but I am actually 32. So I'll be 33 in the next 7 months. So yeah, I'm 32 going on 33. But thank you, because I honestly did not feel like I looked that young. But thanks. Okay, so next question. Do you have any tips on how to not be nervous or scared? Your videos have really been helping me stay positive, but I feel like when it's time, I might go into an anxiety attack or something. You have to be patient. That's going to help you. Because I am a very impatient person, so that was one of my biggest things. It was just like I was anxious, like hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. You have to be patient, and you have to think positively. Like, I cannot express to you how much your thoughts affect everything. Like, we control our thoughts, and your thoughts control reality of what's going to happen and what you manifest. So you have to remain positive. You have to think, this is going to go great. My surgery is going to be good. I'm going to be okay. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm good. Everything's great. My doctor, you know, my doctor's blessed. My doctor's this. Like, you have to think good. I never allowed myself to just like kind of dwell on the negative. And when I got to those places, like when I had my complication and I was feeling like I was like about to start turning for the negative, I would like do a time out and like get off the phone, get off the internet, and just kind of like nap and relax my mind and just kind of breathe, and you know, and things like that. Like, I'm telling you, it is an emotional roller coaster. It is. So the fact that you're going to have your husband with you, that's going to be great, because I'm sure he's going to be able to relax you in some sort of way. When I was going through my complication, I called some of my closest family members and friends, and they helped me stay positive as well. You know, I might have cried, and they were like, it's going to be okay. You know, God got you. It's all right. You know, prayers, all of that. Like, it is an emotional roller coaster. Like, I'm standing here now smiling about the whole situation and everything, but when I was going through it, that stuff was tough. That stuff was tough, especially when I got that complication. Like, I was like so defeated, and I was just like questioning why I did this to myself. Like, this wasn't even something I had to do. This is something I did. Why? So again, expect the unexpected, but remain optimistic throughout it all. Positive thoughts. Everything that is going to happen, there is an alternative to solve it. Like, there's always a solution. So just continue to think that anything that's broken can be fixed. So if anything does happen, just again think positive. It's gonna be okay. Okay, so next, I think we only got 2 more. It says, when they did your lipo, did she take fat from your inner thighs and back as well? That's what I want. And I would like slightly bigger hips. So no, I did not have any lipo on my legs or my arms. Some people get lipo on their arms. I would have loved to, but I had enough fat around my back, and my, you know, sorry, my waist trainer is digging in my side. Okay, so anyway, I had enough fat around my back, because she does not lipo your stomach when you get a tummy tuck. So I had enough fat around my back to where she didn't need to lipo my arms or anything. So on my next round, I plan to get my upper back really, really lipoed and around the sides and my stomach and all of that. But I've heard when it comes to thigh lipo, you typically really don't want to do thigh lipo, because after they lipo it out, you're going to have sagging skin. And then you're going to want to probably do a thigh lift. So that's just always been what I've heard about thigh lipo, is just to leave it alone. Plus, I didn't ever want any fat from my thighs. Like, I feel like the bigger your thighs is, the more natural it's gonna make your BBL look, because your thigh to butt ratio is gonna be right. Because if you got these little bitty thighs and she just gave you this donk, it don't look right. So she can't add it into your hips though. That is what Duran is good for. She is good with the hips. She doesn't really do lats, but she's good with hips. So I had a little bit added into my hips as well. So you'll be all right. You'll be all right there. All right, let me see. Your last question. I am getting a breast lift and hoping for some underarm lipo sometime in the next few months. How long after that surgery should I wait to go to Duran? Duran is going to tell you anywhere from 6 months to a year that you need to wait before having any more plastic surgery. Some doctors, and it varies based off your doctor, because some will do it right at 6 months. Some make you wait a whole dang on year. But Duran told me 6 months. So, I had surgery in June. I could have had surgery again in December. Me personally, I'm going to give my body a year. At first, I was getting really, really, really impatient, and I was about to rush and do surgery in March. But some things happened and changed in my life, and it actually made it to where March was just not going to work for the things that I have going on in my life. So I actually have pushed that out, which I'll do another video kind of letting you guys know where I'm at on my round 2. But I would say give your body at least 6 months to a year. With a breast lift, that's not real invasive, but this surgery you're going to do, if you're doing a full tummy tuck with a BBL, this is going to be major, and I say to give your body a year. Because even right now, with me being 6 months post-op, on the outside, I look completely fine. I feel fine. I don't have pains from day to day. But when I go into the gym and I start trying to work out and move my body and as if I'm normal, that's when I start to feel pains in certain areas where I have to realize that I'm not completely healed. So even though everything looks good on the outside, your insides are still healing. So I say to give your body a year. Let me make sure. I think that was all the questions that I have here. Okay, so she wants to see more before and after pictures. She loves seeing those transformations. So yes, that'll be like a little reward for being in the group, because I will post those more often in the group. Because on the YouTube, it's kind of like I do a video, I can show y'all my body or whatever, but in my group, I can actually post different pictures, so that way y'all can see that. So again, if you haven't joined my Facebook group, make sure to do so. Designer Dolls on Facebook. So yes, I think this pretty much wraps up all the questions here. Sorry this video ended up being a little longer. The question and answers video normally end up being like that because I'm answering questions, y'all. So hopefully these questions helped not only the person that asked them, but somebody else that may have the same questions. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for now. But I thank each and every one of you, as always, for tuning into the channel and supporting my journey. And again, we're going to do as always. And I'll see you guys next time with some more information. Thanks.
Every single day